Hey guys, in today's video we're going to talk about how to rotate your body in the golf swing. All right guys, so let's talk about how to rotate your body in the golf swing. Now before we dig into that, I'm excited to announce that you guys know we are doing a free 7-day trial to cogornogolf.com. So it'll be the first link in the description down below. It's a free 7-day trial, so there's no more excuses not to at least try it. Try it for 7 days. If you like it, hang out for longer. If not, you get out, no problem, no questions asked. So free 7-day trial, first link in the description down below. Now let's talk about how to rotate your body in the golf swing. So this is one of the more common things that comes up in terms of how do you rotate in general. And then really, I think what you guys want to know is specifically how you rotate certain segments of your body in the golf swing and really during the downswing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 2 sticks here. And I saw this done by George Gankus, GG Swing Tips, about a year ago in a video. And it was a really, really good visual in terms of what the rotation amounts are. And so I want to share this with you today and kind of steal this or borrow this from him in terms of giving you a visual. So I'm going to put a stick here, this orange stick for my hips. And then I'm going to put this yellow stick for my shoulder rotation. And I'm going to go through parts of my swing, and what I want to show you is how much rotation of each body segment you should have at certain parts of your swing during the backswing and downswing. So how much rotation, when you should rotate them, those sort of things. So when I start my setup position, what I'll do is I'll kind of go from this side and I'll go from the other side. When I start my setup position, obviously I'm looking for things to be pretty square. Okay, so I'm just basically square to the target more or less when I start. Now the first thing we're going to look at to measure is at the top of the backswing. When I get to the top of the backswing, what I'm looking for here is that my hips have rotated about 45 degrees and my shoulders have rotated about 90 degrees. So about 90 with the shoulders, probably about 45 with the hips would be about a normal backswing. So from this side, that would be about 90 with the shoulders, about 45 with the hips. Now the question is from here, from the top, what do you do when you come down? When I'm at the top, if I get to that part, 90 shoulders, 45 hips, the second checkpoint now is going to be at first parallel during your downswing. First parallel means when your lead arm, left hand or left arm for right-hand golfer, is parallel to the ground. So when I get to left arm parallel at this position, my hips ideally should be basically square to the target and my shoulders should be 45 degrees closed. So I was 45 and 90. Now I'm back to 0 with my hips, but I'm still 45 closed with my shoulders. So from this side, that would look like this. So here at the top, from here to left arm parallel, I am about square with my hips and still 45 degrees closed with my shoulder line, okay? Now from here, if I go back up to the top, by the time I get to left arm parallel, by the time I get down to club parallel to the ground, my shoulders are going to be square. Now my hips are 30 degrees open. So 90, 45, hips back to square, shoulders 45 closed. At last parallel, my shoulders get about square and my hips get about 30 degrees open. Is that evident there? So from this side here, 45 hips, shoulders 90, hips back to square, shoulders still 45 closed. By last parallel, shoulders are about square, hips are 30 open. And now by the time I get to impact, my shoulders are about 30 open and my hips are 45. So from this side, 90, 45. Hips square, shoulders 45, closed. Last parallel, hips are 30 open, shoulders square. And then by impact, my shoulders are 30 degrees open and my hips are 45. So that's the literal. Now I say to you guys all the time, from the top of your swing, you should be feeling like you're opening everything. Not just the lower body, not just the upper body, but opening your whole body and learning how to shallow the club. Now in reality, from the top, your lower body gets off to a little bit of a head start as it goes from here and gets back to square. And then your chest gradually is catching up. Now I said at impact, your hips are open 45, your shoulders are open 30. So your hips are open 15 degrees more than your hips. Or your shoulders, your hips are more, 15 degrees more than your shoulders. By the time I get to arms parallel in the follow through, they're perfectly the same. So your chest and your shoulders are really catching up the entire time during your downswing. Does that make sense? Is that clear there? Your hips get open earlier and then your chest is catching up. But by no means, right, am I going down, keeping my chest closed and just opening my hips all the way through. So with a club in my hands, it would be 90-45. At left arm parallel, my hips are square, my shoulders are 45 closed. At last parallel, my hips are 30 open, my shoulders are square. At impact, hips 45, shoulders 30. Do that one more time. So shoulders 90, hips 45. By left arm parallel here, my hips should be about square, and my shoulders are 45 closed. By last parallel, my shoulders are about square, my hips 30 open. And by impact, my hips are 45, my shoulders are 30. So the gap between my shoulders and my hips are getting smaller and smaller and smaller from left arm parallel to here, and into here. My chest is catching up to my hips. My chest and shoulders are rotating more than my hips from left arm parallel to the follow through. So at the top, for most of you, that would be get your lower body going and then get your upper body catching up and getting even to it by the time the arms are parallel into the follow through. Those are basically the checkpoints we're looking for. So what I would recommend for you guys is first you record your swing, right, and find out where you're at. And so if you look at yourself during your downswing and your hips are not open enough, if you're down here and your hips don't get open enough, do you think your shoulders and upper body are going to be too open? Definitely not, right? If your lower body is not open enough, your upper body is not going to open. So you should feel like you do what? Open everything. Now, as part of that, you feeling like you're opening your hip from the top? Absolutely. Does that mean you open your hip and keep your shoulders closed? Absolutely not. From left arm parallel through, you got to get your upper body turning as much or more than your lower body. You guys with me on that? So that might be a little complicated. Maybe you watch that back, but those are the actual numbers. The gap between the hips and the shoulders are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So I would start with the lower body if I were you guys from the top. If you don't have enough rotation during the downswing, I would start by seeing what your hip rotation looks like. I would go to the top and I would pause my swing by the time my left arm was parallel to the ground, and I'm looking for my knees and my hips to be square with the target. So if you pause your swing and you are too closed off with your hips, you're probably not going to be open enough at impact, which means you need to do what? You need to focus on opening more from the top of the swing to that point, which is right as you start going down, you got to focus from here on getting open right off the bat. So that would be a feel from the top of the swing of opening immediately. And you check that part, and you start with the hips. If you can get the hips open enough, okay, that's part number one. How do you get the hips open enough? You focus on it, you're aware of it first, right? I want that left hip to go back. Some of you guys will have an easier time flexing the left leg, increasing the bend to increase turn. Some of you guys will feel like it extends more straight up from the top. There's different ways to do that. Once you get the hips open enough from the top, again, focusing on getting that left hip around, knee towards the target, increasing flex a little bit, then you can start to turn the upper body more. And if you notice and you check, and your upper body's not open enough, what do you need to feel to do that, right? Just like all of our other videos. You feel like the chest gets pointed towards the target sooner, your left shoulder kind of gets pointed behind you, your right shoulder and your right hip go through. All of those feels might work for you. You can try all of those, and you can try them right from the top of the swing. So the moral of the story is there's really no perfect feel. You have to become aware of where you're at currently. If your lower body's not open, your upper body probably has no chance of opening. So start there. Understand your chest, shoulders, upper body are catching up to your lower body through the whole downswing. If you start to rotate your upper body a lot from the top, and your swing direction's too far over the top this way, yes, you need to learn how to shallow the club from there, right? That's a separate thing. Best ball strikers put those two pieces together. So that's the moral of the story. As always, I can help you best if I can see you swing. We're doing this 7-day free trial for that. You can join the Facebook group once you join the site, post your swings up. You can always do an online lesson, see a pro in person, see where you're at and make those adjustments accordingly. So that's how you rotate your body as a stock model. Find out where you are, make the adjustments. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you guys liked the video, please do me a favor, click the like button down below. Click the notification bell if you haven't. Also, please subscribe. Another reminder, if you guys do want more instruction from me tailored for you, CogornoGolf.com, our membership is live. The link is in the description down below. Thank you guys.